You are not black. Now, I understand that this video may be uncomfortable for some people, and some people will try to argue their point, but just listen, just hear me out without your passions. Take your passions and turn your passions down and understand the message that I'm trying to give to you. You are not a black person. You are not a negro. You're not a person of color. There's no such thing as black people. There's no such thing as white people. This is an issue. This is a problem that has been created in this whole idea of racism, this whole idea of systematic oppression. All starts with self-identity and the way that we think of ourselves. So when you look at a word such as black, let's look at what the definition of black is, because when you call yourself black, you're taking on the meaning of the word. And I want to remove the idea that black has something to do with your ethnicity or your race or your culture or your descent, because black is not your descent. Black is not who you descend from. Black is not who you are. So you don't have to protect your blackness because you think that that's who you are. That's not who you are. So when I talk about the word black and what it means and what it's defined as, I'm not talking about who you are. I'm talking about that word is a mark. That word is a mark that destroys who you are. The beauty of our people, the beauty of what we've done, the beauty of our ethnicity and our culture and who we are as a people is not black. That was beautiful is not black. What's beautiful is the people, the culture, right? Who we are, our willingness to work and do better and think our condition can be better and do good for ourselves and for our posterity. That's what's beautiful. That's what we're trying to talk about when we say black is beautiful. But what we think is black is what we're associating with what I just mentioned. The language, the culture, the heritage, the descent, the ethnicity, the race. We think that that's what black is. That's not what black is. Black means dead. Black, if you look into the definition, and we're going to go into Merriam-Webster dictionary definition and find what black means. Black means devil. Black means soiled, dirty, tainted, stained. This is not a case of trying to take a word that means something bad and say, okay, well, I'm going to change the meaning. That doesn't work because you're not black. You don't have to do that. You don't have to try and take this word and change the meaning. You wouldn't do that with the word idiot. You would, if I called you a stupid man, you don't want me calling you a stupid man, because you know what stupid means. If I called you a stupid woman, you wouldn't want me to call you a stupid woman because you know what stupid means. You're not going to say, okay, you've been calling me a stupid woman all these years. I'm going to change what stupid means because that's my identity. You think that black is your identity. I thought black was my identity. So if we want to change black because we think black is my identity, so I'm going to change it to fit what I want to identify as, which is beautiful, courageous, strong. But that is not black. That may be who you are and who you believe yourself to be, but you are not black. You don't have to protect your blackness because black is dead. Ethnicity and culture and race is not black. That's not black. That side of you that you're protecting is not blackness. That's not what that is. Because blackness means everything that is evil and tainted and stained and gloomy and hostile and wicked and devilish. It's a mind state. It's a damage on your psyche. It's a damage on your psyche. It's a damage on your identity. So you are not a black person. The European is not a white person. This is why we continue to think that we're below Europeans, because we think that they are white. We think that they are white and that we are black. Black means devil and white means God. You are not black. They are not white. When we get this out of our minds that this is who we are and realize that it's a name, a mark that was put upon people to degrade them to the very lowest. That's the purpose of the black name, because the black, Negro, black, and colored are slave names. Those are the slave names. Smith, Jones, Johnson, and Brown are not slave names. Those are family names. Slave names is Negro, black, and colored. Those are the slave names. When you call yourself black, you degrade yourself back to slavery. You have put yourself into civil rights, but we'll get to that later. Right now, we're going to talk about black defined. What does black mean? Let's take a moment real quick and look at what is black defined as. Merriam-Webster. It says, of or relating to black people, and often especially to African American people or their culture. Black, of or relating to any of various population groups of especially African ancestry, often considered as having dark pigmentation of the skin, but in fact having a wide range of skin colors. Then the very next definitions is dirty, soiled, characterized by the absence of light, reflecting or transmitting little or no light, thoroughly sinister or evil, wicked, indicative of condemnation or discredit, heavy or serious, connected with or invoking the supernatural and especially the devil, very sad, gloomy or calamitous, marked by the occurrence of disaster, characterized by hostility or angry discontent, distorted or darkened by anger, characterized by grim, distorted, or grotesque satire. This is the adjective definition of black. If you put black before anything, it makes it bad. If you put black before any day of the week and then look that up, I bet you'll see some calamitous disaster that happened on that day. Black Monday, Black Tuesday, Black Wednesday, Black Thursday, Black Friday, Black Saturday, Black Sunday. You're gonna find some calamitous disaster. You may have mail, but nobody wants to be blackmailed. You got a ball, but nobody wants to be blackballed. You understand? The psychology behind this word, the thing that this is doing to our minds is terrible, because this is the identity that we're taking on. And when you look in the dictionary and look up black, it says the black races from Africa. Anyone from the black races of Africa. They just recently changed the dictionary to try and say dark pigmentation. I have a dictionary from about 1950. When I look at black, it say any of the black races. If you know anything about English literature and the definition of words, you cannot put the word in its definition because you haven't told what the word means. So when you look up black and then it says any of the black races of Africa, you still haven't described or defined what the word black means. What is the black race of Africa? I was looking at an application, a job application. On this job application, it brought up all the races. It says white, black, etc., etc., etc. For black, it says any of the black races of Africa. For white, it says any of the original people of the inhabitants of North Africa and the Middle East. So white can be people from North Africa. The original inhabitants of North Africa and the Middle East are white people, but the black races of Africa are black people. But how is it you have people coming over here with dark skin and they're considered as white? How is that so? But I'm getting ahead of myself. So this is what we're looking at with what black means. It's gloomy, pessimistic, dismal, deliberately harmful, inexcusable, bodingly ill, sullen or hostile, threatening, without any moral quality or goodness, evil and wicked, indicating censure, disgrace or liability to punishment, marked by disaster or misfortune. These are the definitions of black. If you have you got black male, black bald, right? Black plague, Black Monday, Black Tuesday, Black Wednesday, Black Thursday, Black Friday, all of these things. I got a list of things down here. Black outlook, a gloomy, pessimistic, dismal outlook. Black lie, a deliberately harmful and inexcusable lie. Black words, boding ill, sullen, hostile, threatening words. Black heart, without any moral quality or goodness, evil or wicked. Black deeds, right? All it is. We even got a definition for black man: an evil spirit, boogeyman, the devil. That's the definition of black man. This is what this word is putting on people, and we are calling ourselves this word. And it means devil. You don't need to protect that. That's not who you are. When you say black is beautiful, what you're trying to say is we're beautiful. Our culture is beautiful. Our people is beautiful. Our ethnicity is beautiful. Our skin complexion is beautiful. Our race is beautiful. But all of that is not black. That's not black. Your skin complexion is not black. Your culture is not black. Your ethnicity is not black. Your race is not black. That's not black. Black is a mark that means dead. It means slave. It's a slave name. It's not what we're supposed to be calling ourselves. So just ask yourself, is this really what I want to be calling myself? Do I really want to be putting these words on my name? Do I really want to be calling myself black? Do you really want to put that? Do you want to be calling yourself gloomy, dismal? Because when you say black this, black that, black male, black bald, black outlook, black looks, now then you go to black man. It has been negative for every other thing. You think it's going to change for black man? You think now because his man is different? No, that the word is still an adjective. The word means evil. So anything you put that in front of is going to make it a negative connotation. Now you put that in front of man, you have made yourself an evil man. That's why Europeans view black people as evil. Because the word black means evil. Black means evil. Black means hateful. Black means liar. Black means all of that. Harmful, threatening, intimidating. Why do you think they think those things? Because that's what the word means. If you black, then that's what you're taking on as your identity. You can't change the word because of how you want to identify. You have to stop using that identification because you're not a black person. Let's look at what the definition of white is. Marked by upright fairness, straightforward and kindly, free from spots or blemishes, free from moral stain or impurity, outstandingly righteous or innocent, not by or connected with malignant influences or intent, not intended to cause harm, notably pleasing or auspicious, favorable and fortunate, designed to make a good impression, superficially pleasing or plausible, regarded with special favor, favorite. Synonyms of white are purity, clean, hopeful, cheerful, innocent, righteous, and kindly. And I forgot to go to synonyms of black. Let's go back to that. Synonyms of black: dirty, dingy, sad, depressing, somber, doleful, mournful, funeral, disastrous, calamitous, sinful, inhuman, fiendish, devilish, infernal, monstrous, atrocious, horrible, nefarious, treacherous, traitorous, villainous. These are synonyms of black. Let's look at antonyms of black: white, clean, hopeful, cheerful, innocent, pure, kindly, righteous, upright, and honest. Those are antonyms of black, which means they are opposites. Are you understanding why I'm telling you we are not black people and we need to steer clear of that? The Bible says flee from the devil. Black means the devil. You have to flee from it. Do not hold on to these devilish names. So white coming before words cleans the word up. Like white ball instead of black ball. Like white words instead of black words. Like white look instead of black looks. Here I got the definition for white and black. There's a definition for white and black. It says, completely either one way or another, without any intermediate state, of pertaining to or constituting a two-value system, as of logic or morality. Absolute. To those who think in black and white terms, a person must be either entirely good or entirely bad, entirely one way or entirely the other way. That's why we don't see any middle ground with black and white. There's no middle understanding with black and white. When you think of things in black and white, there's no middle ground. It has to be this way, entirely good, white, or entirely bad, black. This is the problem that is having on our psyche. We can't do it. You're not black. You are not black. I'm not black. Your brother's not black. Your sister's not black. Your mother's not black. Why is black the only race, the only so-called ethnicity of people that keeps changing with every generation? Your grandmother was colored, then your mother was Negro, then now you are black. Or in this generation, you are African American, but your parents was black, and your grandparents was Negro, and your great-grandparents was colored. If you had 4 generations of Mexican Americans, Their great-grandparents is Mexican Americans, their grandparents was Mexican Americans, their parents was Mexican Americans, and they are Mexican Americans. It doesn't happen like that with black, because black is not your race. This is the effect on our mind state. White is equated to God. Black is equated to devil. Think about the mental state that it puts people in. People think they're lesser than because they think the white man is this big thing and the white man's doing this and the white man's doing that. And we always gonna be under the white man because the white man is running things and there's always the white man doing this and the white man, the white man, the white man. No, that man is not white. You are not black. When you take that away from them and you take that out from yourself, you have put yourself on an even playing field. Everyone's a human being when you get rid of colors, color codes. This has destroyed our psyche. This has destroyed our mental state. This has destroyed our culture. This has destroyed our people. We think that we're black and it's destroying us because we're acting that way. We're becoming black. We have made the culture black. We have made it dark and gloomy. We destroyed the beautiful things that we've done and are destroying it because that's what the name means. Another thing is you don't see anybody black or white historically in historical documents before slavery, before the 1400s. There's no black people. Black was created less than 1,000 years ago. It wasn't even created till probably the 1400s. Maybe the 15. Whenever you hear people talk about so-called black people, they say black people, descendants of slaves, because black is a slave name. So-called black people don't go further back than slaves. When you in American history class, you don't learn about black people until slavery because there was no black people. People were not called black. That's not who they were. That's not who they are today. And that's just the reason why so-called black people are in this situation, because that you are not black. And calling yourself black, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing humanity a disservice. You're doing Allah, you're doing God a disservice because he did not make you black. You're made in the image and after the likeness of God. God is not black. When you look into biblical record, you don't see any black people. You got Israelites, Benjaminites, all kind of ites, Moabites, Canaanites, Cushites, Hamites, Hittites. You don't see any blackites. You don't see any Negroites. You don't see any coloredites because that's not a thing. That's not who you came from. Negro, black, and colored is not a real thing. There's no land on this earth called black. There's no land on this earth called Negro. There's no land on this earth called colored. There's no land on this earth called white. There's no land on this earth called red. There's no land on this earth called yellow. There's no land on this earth called any of these color codes. Brown. You got South Americans calling themselves brown because of this messed up color code. You have African Americans with the same skin tone as people from South America, but the African American is black and the South American is brown. They have the same skin complexion. How does that make any sense? They got the same skin complexion, but the African American is black. The person from South America is brown. People have nations, nationalities, nations associated with land and people and culture. Chinese people come from China. They have a Chinese flag and constitution. French people come from France. They have a French flag and constitution. Mexican people come from Mexico. They got a Mexican flag and constitution. Where do black people come from? You can't say Africa because that's where African people come from. What land is black? What black flag and constitution is there? There's not one because there's no such thing as a black nation. There's no such thing as a black people. There's no such thing as a black flag. There's no such, well, I'm not gonna say black flag because that's a different thing. There's no black constitution because black is not a people. Black is not a people. It's a social construct. And that's not who we are. That's all I got. That's all I'm gonna go over in my notes. And what I'm gonna talk about is how black affects your citizenship, because black is under civil rights. Black is still deluding you to slavery. Black is still making you a slave in the United States of America. Black is still making you considered as a slave. You have no nationhood under black. Under Negro, black, and colored, there's no nationhood. You have civil rights. Why should a citizen of the United States of America need civil rights? They already have rights under the Constitution if they're a true American citizen. So-called black people are not considered true American citizens. They're second-class citizens. Your citizenship status is second class. Your rights and privileges can be taken away. Why do we need a Voters' Right Act for citizens? If they're citizens of this constitutional government, they wouldn't need extra acts to vote. If they're citizens of this constitutional government, they wouldn't need extra laws to be protected. It's because civil rights was not made for citizens of this constitutional government. Civil rights was made to treat prisoners with some kind of civility. The 13th Amendment says you're not a slave unless you're duly convicted of a crime. So they was treating prisoners like slaves till they gave them civil rights. Treat them with some civility. Now civil rights has been expanded to second-class citizens. So-called black people. You don't need civil rights if you're a constitutional citizen of the American government. And the way that you're a constitutional citizen of the American government is by having a nationality. You have to have a national descent. Mexican Americans are true American citizens. If they have American citizenship and they know their national descent is Mexican, they're Mexican Americans, they're true American citizens. Polish Americans, Irish Americans, Jamaican Americans, the ones that's not calling themselves black, they'll put themselves back into blackism. Because Jamaicans are running around with the same kind of racist issues. We are not black people. You have to have a nationality. What we believe, and I can only speak for myself, is that the Moorish Science Temple of America solves that problem for us. God sent us a prophet to get us out of this Negro, black, and colored thing. The prophet's name is Noble Drew Ali. He brought us our nationality and our divine creed. We're Moors. Our national descent is Moorish. We're Moorish Americans. So we study our religion in peace, practice our nationality in peace. We're American citizens just like everybody else. We vote like everybody else. We do our thing. But now we are no longer under that civil rights. We are no longer under the idea that we're lesser than. We're on the same playing field with all other nations because we realize that we're not black people. We realize the harms of what come with calling yourself black. That's the solution, is nationality. Whatever nationality you come across, I'm not saying you got to come join the temple. Although we believe that that's the solution for everybody. Everyone has to make their own decision. But you have to have a nationality in the United States of America to be a true American citizen. To be a constitutional citizen of the United States of America, you have to have a nationality, a national descent with a flag. If you don't, then you're not a true American citizen. You don't have a national decent name. Negro, black, and colored is not a true American citizen. It's a slave name. It's a slave status. We live in a caste system in America. And that's what this color code system is a caste system. I know this video is probably long, but I had to get this message out there. I pray you got something from this. Peace.